Our theme tonight is inspired by change, which was itself inspired by change. Changes in the universe, the world, society, and in the individuals that give it all meaning. Every single one of you here tonight. I am inspired by how people react to change. I am inspired by the valiance of the human spirit, in the heart of earthquakes, the eye of tornadoes, and in the face of the truth. I am even inspired by the change people leave in restaurants, to change a waiter's life tip by tip. But indeed, while changes around us are infinite, my time with you is not. So I'm going to tell you two tales. Tales of trials and tribulation, but ultimately, triumph of the human spirit. Listen carefully, because the third tale is the one you'll have to write for yourselves. So children, once upon a time, there lived a man named Socrates, about 2,400 years ago. Indeed, for the periods he stood motionless, just thinking. And the subsequent weeks he spent without a shower, one could have easily mistaken Socrates for a sock. But it was, despite his unkempt Greek exterior, inside he housed a powerful mind, and his life of questioning ultimately laid the foundations for Western philosophy. Even his death revolutionized the concept of a Greek hero. It now took more than a sword and a zest for battle to be a hero. It took conviction and a willingness to die rather than relinquish rationality. It was his thinking and sacrifice that built human thought for millennia to come. But like Rome, Greece wasn't built overnight. Throughout human history, whenever we start to get a little bit comfortable, there's always one guy who shakes things up. Copernicus was just that guy. In 1543, Copernicus proposed the heliocentric model, which suggested that we orbit the sun, not the other way around. Bear in mind, this was a time when we considered ourselves the center of the universe. I suppose some things never change. It was indeed a time when Copernicus's contemporaries told him to get his head out of the stars. Then, in the 17th century, when Galileo and his telescope confirmed Copernicus's suspicions, the church arrested both Galileo and his proofs. But they couldn't arrest the orbits. Fast forward a few centuries, and it's a universally held truth that we are in the toe of the sun, not the other way around. To accept what Socrates suggested, we had to accept that we have to question literally everything. And to accept what Copernicus suggested, we had to literally accept that we aren't the center of the universe. What links these great ideas across time is a human willingness to eventually bow our egos to the truth. It may not happen overnight, over a year, or even over a century. But eventually, we choose to accept changes to our truths and use that to change our condition as a species. The past is a testament to human humility, an inspiring history of reaction to change. Let's take a drive down memory lane, where we shall meet with an abrupt and awakening accident. One that 7 years ago was to claim my mom's life. This was the first in a series of spontaneous speed bumps that would lead me on the road to this very stage. Now, for as long as I can remember, my dad has always played the role of driver. Let's be honest, in Dubai, that's the only reason we keep them around anyway. But, accepting that, it was him we turned to drive us through this tragedy. And drive he did. His passengers, my brother and I, keeping his eyes on the road and his hands on the wheel. And this time, in the words of Master Shifu, there were no accidents. It was a couple of years till we met our stepmom and our sisters for the first time. It's quite a fascinating experience, being about mid last year, a different stage than the one I'm standing on took priority in our lives. My stepmom was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. The fights melted away. We were closer than we'd ever been before. We went from giving each other the ice shoulder to feeding each other ice cream. And ask any doctor, ice cream with the family, alhamdulillah, can cure cancer. Just ask my mom. She sat over there. It was in times of truly tumultuous change that our family bonded the most. Let's take this and blow it up on a global scale. The Arab Springs, the conflicts in the Middle East, and the fight and struggle for freedom required a massive population to collectively embrace an entirely new system of governance. Natural disasters constantly shake us into action and reaction, aid coming in from every corner of the globe to rebuild broken lives. The cloud of climate change looms over our heads, but by collectively enforcing preventive measures, our countries have teamed up to form a global umbrella. In the world we're in today, change serves to unite us. It forces us to transcend personal boundaries in favor of a collective ambition. The present is a testament to human unity. We have inspiring reactions to change all around us every day. I've told you 2 tales so far, of the past and of the present. There's one to go. I hope you're sufficiently inspired. This is the one you're going to have to write. As you return to the lives you so graciously suspended for tonight, I implore you to consider and contemplate the changes you experience every day, but more importantly, to examine the reactions you have to those changes. Take a quill from the past and some ink from the present and write the best possible future you can. Accept that change is inevitable, but that your reaction to it is not. Make the future a testament to humanity. Give your children stories to be inspired by. Thank you very much.